So Titus, can you make a guess which condo in Singapore is this? The one that lost $7 million.
Location so good, got MRT, got everything, but how come still can lose $7 million?
The 3 and 4 bidders consistently losing $1 to $4 million.
Can you imagine 15 years of holding and you still lose up to a few $1 million?
So the buyers who bought essentially are paying 2.5 times more than what market has accepted.
If you want the honest truth about how can someone lose 7 million in property, keep watching. But if you want sales talk, skip this video. Welcome back to another episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth, HTHT.
If you have enjoyed our content so far, remember to like, share and subscribe. It really helps us to continue produce more honest content for you guys. And also, don't forget to scan our QR code if you have any property related questions. So if you have clicked into this video, you have seen the title, it means that you are also interested to find out why some condos lose so much money, and in this instance, as much as almost $7 million.
So for today's video, we will share more with you on why some condos can lose so much money and reveal which condo development is this that lost $7 million. So by understanding some of the common factors, right, you as a buyer can avoid what these people have gone through and avoid the big losses. Unless you are very rich, you are a billionaire, then this 7 million will be small change to you lah.
So Titus, can you make a guess which condo in Singapore is this? The one that lost $7 million.
First thought that came to my mind is Sentosa.
Very close, not bad. So drum roll. So the condo is Reflection at Keppel Bay.
Okay, just outside Sentosa.
Yes, correct. So very close to your guess. So if you are wondering, this condo is located in a super prime location, which is near Sentosa, like what you mentioned. And this condo is very atas because it's sea facing and can see all the yachts down there.
So in terms of location, it's fantastic. You are between two MRT stations. On the one side, you have Telok Blangah Circle Line. On the other side, you have VivoCity Harbourfront, right, which is Circle Line and Northeast Line. So connectivity-wise, right, this location is one of the best I think you can get in Singapore. And of course, you have two malls, Harbourfront Centre and VivoCity, which provides your daily amenities, your convenience, supermarket, or even your entertainment. So in a nutshell, location so good, got MRT, got everything, but how come still can lose $7 million?
So this is one of the reasons why we tell our clients, right, the old saying of buying properties based on location is dead.
So if you have your agent telling you, right, to buy into location hype project without any backing up of analysis, data, or giving you a few reasons why the project will be good for you, you might want to think twice. If not, you can scan our QR code, get in touch with us. We will share with you the honest truth about which property you can look at or which property you should avoid.
What is more scary, right, Titus, is that usually in other developments in Singapore, we tend to see the bigger units like the 3, 4, 5 bidders making the most in terms of profit. But if you see here, over at Reflections, we can see here the 3 and 4 bidders consistently losing $1 to $4 million.
Oh, really very painful because all of them lost up to 7 figures or even more.
It's very sad.
Very sad. And also there's something that, based on this data that we have prepared, right, I saw something that I really want to point out. A lot of people might feel that it lose money, is it short-term flippers?
Yep.
And we take a look at all these people who have lost $1 to $4 million or even more, right? We can realize that they actually hold on average 10 years or even up to 15 years. Can you imagine 15 years of holding and you still lose up to a few $1 million? That's crazy.
It's very sad.
So something must be wrong with this development in terms of the project or in terms of the pricing.
Correct.
That's where we want to deep dive today to share with you more about how we feel about these losses.
So from what we understand after we did our analysis, there are two issues here.
Yes.
First is the entry price back in 2007 to 2010. This is when the project was launched.
Yes.
And second is the layout.
Okay.
So first for the entry price, you can see back then, between 2007 to 2010, the owners bought at the PSF of between 2000 to 2007. What do you think, Titus? Do you think it's high?
Crazy, because right now when people talk about 2000, 2007, in today's context, 2025, people already say like, wow, damn high.
Correct.
Can you imagine like almost like 20 years back?
This is the pricing.
That was the pricing and people went
Accepted
in
it.
at this price.
Yes.
But what is important is to understand why is this price expensive at that point of time.
Yep. So back then, in 2007 to 2010, in terms of RCR pricing, right, it was about 900 to 1,000 PSF, right? So the buyers who bought reflection essentially are paying 2.5 times more than what market has accepted.
Confirm lose money.
Yes. So this is a recipe for disaster.
So does it mean that all RCR condos are not making money?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Actually, RCR has grown about 155% since 2007. But because in 2007, these owners at Reflection bought at the wrong entry price.
I mean, 2007 is really like 20 years ago. I wasn't there as a real estate agent. But
Same.
I can imagine, right, the hype because the architecture, the building, the location, sea view, everything. Sentosa is fantastic. A lot of people want to buy Sentosa Cove.
Lux.
So the whole hype, right, probably push up the prices and buyer were going in very emotionally. Right?
So now we compare to the neighbor, Reef at King's Dock, which launched back in 2021. Now we can see the average price is about 2,003.
So those owners that bought about 14, 15 years ago at the Reflection bought around 2000 to 2007. 14, 15 years later, people who bought a newer project, better location, nearer to MRT, just right beside Harbourfront Centre, they bought only at average of 2003.
Similar pricing.
So this is very telling already, Haikal, because definitely it's just telling us that people who bought Reflection, right, at around 2000 to 2007, they are paying crazy prices. That is probably the top reason why they will actually lose up to $7 million.
Correct. So now we move on to the next main issue, which is the size of the unit at Reflections.
Should be quite big, right?
Yes, it's humongous. So we can see here for the 3-bedders, for example, the average size is about 1,005 to 1,008.
Wow, very big.
However, when you look at the floor plan, you don't really feel the size as though it's that big. Right? So the first floor plan we're going to look at is 1,528 square feet.
1,528 in today's context could be a 5-bedroom already.
So when we just look at the dining and living, right, it feels very cramped. And for such a big unit, right, you can barely put a 6-seater dining down here. And also next is the location of the sofa. Many might not notice, but it's a bit awkward. Because the sofa, right, is placed right in front of the kitchen. And this is an open kitchen. So usually you have your dining table there instead of your sofa in this location.
So the dining and the living actually should switch lah.
By right.
By right lah.
But for this instance, they cannot switch because there's no wall to put the TV on the dining area. So the buyers who buy here are stuck with this bad layout.
And last time the monitor technology not so good lah.
Correct.
So just now as we mentioned, 1,500 square feet in today's context, right? It's probably a 5-bedder or even a 4-bed with private lift, right? So imagine going around looking at 1,500 square feet. For Reflection, they only offer 3-bedroom.
With no private lift.
Yeah, so the demand for this kind of units would be very low lah, because 1,500, the kind of budget, easily people can buy 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom elsewhere already.
Correct. And lastly, in bedroom 3, you can also see there's a pillar that will run in the room, which makes the room a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why is there a pillar in the middle of the bedroom, right, it's due to the structure of the building.
Very nice lah, the exterior super nice.
Looks good, very unique. But
Jam straight, like
yes,
pointy.
very different.
But some will say pointy not so good for feng shui lah.
Bad for feng shui.
Okay.
So when you buy a property, right, it is best you buy a condo that's regular and boring in shape on the outside. Because those condo outside very nice, very fanciful, like we say got pointed shape lah. On the inside, right, the interior usually is very, very bad.
So your layout would have like curvy or even like triangle shaped bedroom, all these things lah. So as a resale buyer, these are not things that the market actually wants. They want regular shape, squarish shape kind of layout lah.
Correct.
But one thing that I want to point out is I think the building and architecture technology has improved over time. Because if you look recently at Zion Grand, right, which is launched in 2025 last year, the architect make the outlook of the building, right, like the national flower, orchid, right? So very wavy kind of things.
Nice.
But they are able to also do the interior, right, as squarish as possible. So the unit doesn't follow the exterior. The unit is still square, but the exterior, they are able to build into some fancy, probably going to be award-winning kind of look lah. So I think if let's say the exterior is very fanciful, you must also make sure that the interior is squarish lah.
Regular shape. So if you guys are still not sure what makes a good layout, right, do scan our QR code and drop us a message, and we can definitely share more with you guys. And on top of that, we have also done an episode where we talk about choosing the wrong layout can cost you as a buyer 500k in profit. So if you are keen, can watch our other episode as well.
So now we want to take a look at another layout, 1851 square feet, which is huge, bigger than some of the landed properties, right? So this is 300 square feet more than the previous one, but when we see this layout, right, you can see that the living and dining is much better, not so close to the kitchen anymore, but there are still some disturbing issues, right? So firstly, we can take a look and count the number of balconies. So we have one here, we have two, and then we have three, right? So this balcony, sometimes it might look nice when you are not staying in it. But when you are in the unit every single day, what do you use the balcony for?
Not practical.
Sometimes one for wine, one for coffee,
Yes.
one for yoga, and then if the wife chase you out, you can sleep on the balcony maybe.
Yep.
So when we want to advise buyers to look at layouts, right, we try to tell them, go for one balcony is enough. And also not those balcony that span across the entire unit.
Correct.
Right? It's like you can do shuttle run up and down the balcony. That kind also too big lah.
And lastly, if you look at the master, right, it's a bit of an odd shape. Plus, on top of the odd shape, there are also two pillars in your master. So master is the place where you want to rest and relax, right? But now, you go back to your room to sleep, you see two big pillars right in your face. Right? So yet again, another layout which we see so many issues, and with all these factors, when you combine them together, many resale buyers, when they come in, they do not feel good buying such a home.
Yes. So two reasons that we understand why reflections at Keppel Bay make a loss of up to 7 million. Number one, super bad entry price. Number two, the layout is something that not many people can accept in today's context. But we also want to show you another location that is nearby, which is Marina Bay and Tanjong Pagar area, and share with you the reasons why that condos in this area do not perform well.
So for these homes over at Tanjong Pagar and Marina Bay, right, what we feel, right, is that there's a lack of welcoming factor when you step into these houses.
Like office lah.
Yes.
Like going to work.
Correct. So if you've been to places like Altes, Sky Suites at Anson, or even Marina One Residences, central location, right? Location is great. But what we notice is when you get home, you go through a lobby that feels like a office, like what you mentioned.
Yes.
So you go through the lobby, then you go straight up to unit. So what is missing, right, we feel, right, is most of the condos in other parts of Singapore, when you go home, you walk through the facilities, which is on the first floor. So it feels very spacious, this area. And also, we walk past the swimming pool, it's very calming when you get home. So this feels more like a home.
Yes. I feel that if you talk about normal condos, right, there's a little bit more kampong spirit. You walk through the facilities, you see your neighbor, you talk, you see people walk their dog, you talk. But you come to this kind of CBD home, right? You basically really go into the lift and go to your unit. There's no vibes of kampong spirit lah. You kind of have very little interaction with your neighbors.
Correct. So when we compare to condos at Tanjong Pagar and Marina, right, most of the time facilities are located on the higher floor.
Yes.
Because these homes are usually built in a long vertical tower, right? Why? It's because of location. They are in the CBD. Land is very precious. Right? So usually homes located here are built on smaller plots of land. So developers can only build skyscrapers lah.
Yes. So really sometimes when we go to viewings at such developments, right, it really feels like an office, or sometimes it feels like, am I going to a hotel, a service apartment? There's no homey feeling.
Yes.
Right? So that is also one of the reasons, I think, the emotional aspect whereby resale buyers, right, they want to set up their family, then they're like, I work in an office building, I come home to a macam office building.
No difference.
Like, am I at work or am I at home?
So this is why we say this feel-good factor, right, is very important, right, when it comes to the resale market.
Yes.
So we have one very good example, which is Whistler Grand and Twin View, located in West Coast.
Okay.
Right, these two condos are far from everything and near industrial area. But if you ever have the chance to go to these two condos, just by walking the ground, you can feel the space and the place is very nice. It's very open, very welcoming. So when resale buyers come and view the unit, they feel good. They feel like this is a home basically.
Yes. So I think what we are trying to say is the landscaping part of it, right? As much as we are always in the home interior of the house, if we have a very, very good development and the developer builds a good landscape, right, I think this is something that a lot of buyers overlook lah. Because they will feel that, outside my house not my problem lah.
Correct.
But actually that's something that is very wrong lah. Because if the developer built up a good landscape, right, it actually creates more value for your house.
Yes. So this is why when we go back to Resale and Twin View, despite being far from everything, we can see both have 100% profitability.
So if you are still confused about what we are sharing in this video, don't worry, just get in touch with us, scan our QR code, and then we will be happy to share with you that the resale condo that you are looking at, is it worth considering? What are some of the pros, what are some of the cons? Next, we want to take a look at one more example of layout, which is Marina One Residence. Right? Apart from feeling like an office, we want to zoom into the layout and see what's the issue with the layout.
So for the two-bedder, it's sized at 1066. Yet again,
Two-bedder 1066.
very big.
Now 1066 is 3 plus study.
Correct. So if you compare to a new launch studio, that what Titus has mentioned is a 3 plus study. So for a two-bedder, it is big.
Okay.
But is big always better, Titus?
I think it's a lot more about how they use the space. Right? You got space you don't use, you got one soccer field. What's the point?
Pointless, correct.
Yeah.
So what are the issues we see here? Right? First is the odd shape in the living and all the rooms.
Yeah.
Right. So because of this odd shape, you can see in common room 1, you can only fit a single bed.
So I think we go back to how the building is being built. The unit has to be slanted in a
Correct.
way, and it compromises the interior. So
Yes.
like I shared just now on the Zion Grand example, I think technology in terms of building architecture has improved lah. So these are things whereby the building can still look nice outside, but inside still look regular lah.
So it's the best of both worlds basically. Right. So for going back to Marina 1, despite it being big on paper, over 1,000 square feet, everything seems normal. Like the dining can just fit just nice, a 4-seater. Kitchen is also normal. There's actually no wow factor.
Yes.
But it's big due to the odd shape of the whole unit.
Yep. So a quick summary just to combine all these factors, right? We can see that Marina One Residence, right? We have losses up to $500,000 for their 2-bedders, and the highest loss is $1.1 million for 4-bedder. Of course, if you put in relation to $6.9 million loss in reflection, this $1.1 million is a lot smaller lah, but it's still a lot of money lah.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to lose this money at all lah.
No one wants.
Yeah.
So what we wanted to share for today is the importance of two things: layout and entry price yet again. And also buying a condo that feels more like a home rather than an office space.
Yes. So if you guys are still not sure, once again, our QR code, drop us a message. We will definitely share more with you.
So if you have enjoyed today's video, please like this video or share with your friend who you think can benefit from this. And thanks for watching this episode of Haikal Titus Honest Truth.
HTHT. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.